Hey, what's going on? This is Austin with Alpha Zen. Please hit the like button on this video, and if it's your first time to my channel, hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I upload new videos. So welcome. Today we're going to be talking about dating a Puerto Rican girl from the South Bronx. Now remember the rule of Alpha Zen. Not all women are created equal, and not all Latinas are created equal. You will find that a Dominican girl is very different from a Puerto Rican girl, from a Mexican girl, from a Venezuelan girl, from a Colombian girl. They're all different, but yet you can categorize them under Latina. Now, with that, we're going to focus in on Puerto Rican girls who are very beautiful. And I'm not going to talk about the animosity that Puerto Ricans have with Dominicans and Dominicans have with them and other groups. And Dominicans have problems with Haitians, even though it's one same island. We can get into that in a later video. But what I want to talk about is just specifically the Puerto Rican girl from the South Bronx. Now, you'll know, obviously, if you go to the East Coast, that there's Puerto Rican girls from Brooklyn, Harlem, Queens. And the interesting thing about it is they're all very different, even though they're from PR. So let's talk about the South Bronx here. And the most famous of which that derives from the South Bronx is Jennifer Lopez, Jenny from the Block. And I find her a little bit more refined for a Puerto Rican girl. And I remember one time, Puerto Ricans in general were everywhere in the Bronx, and then Dominicans kind of came in and took over and didn't get along with Puerto Ricans and kind of tried to push them out. So let's go over, enough of that little history, let's go over some of these attributes of a Puerto Rican girl. And this reminds me of a visit I took back to the South Bronx recently when I went to a coffee shop to get a cup of coffee. And I remember hearing from behind me a woman just swearing and cursing and just going nuts. And when I turned around, I saw this Latina, older, a little bit of an older woman, I would say early 30s. And below her was her daughter. And I couldn't believe that she was cursing at such a loud mouth in front of her daughter. And that reminded me of why I left the South Bronx. And I want to pass that on to you to understand that, yes, these Puerto Rican girls are very, very beautiful, but they come with a mouth. They have no problem jumping in your face, telling you off, challenging your manhood. So in order to have a successful relationship with them, you have to be alpha. You have to demonstrate those traits. And a lot of Puerto Rican men are known for cheating, being playboys. So Puerto Rican girls have a certain amount of distrust for men. Not all, but some. So you can find her to be very possessive, outspoken. She can be argumentative. But at the same time, she can be very loving, supportive. There when you need her, a kind of ride or die chick. The one thing I do like about them is that if you are in an argument with them, it won't last long. And then they'll go back to their normal submissive self because they do know how to submit to a man, the patriarchy. They take care of their men, they cook, they clean, and they're very family oriented. So when you're with her, don't expect her to have big ideas, such as taking over the world. She's more comfortable maybe being a secretary or administrative assistant, having your baby, taking care of the house, taking care of the child, and taking care of you. And you have to be comfortable with that, because if you are that type who wants to be an entrepreneur, if you're not opening a bodega, it's going to be very hard for her to envision what you want if you're looking to be a CEO or start a major company on your own. She will try and support you, but that's really not in her purview, because most of these women, and even the men, their whole life is in the South Bronx. They don't think outside of that. So if you're looking to become the CEO of a major company, corporation or start your own corporation and travel to Italy and go to France. She's not going to be looking at that. She's more comfortable taking trips to PR and coming back. And that's the extent of it. So these high aspirations that you may have, if you have them, don't expect her to share them. Again, she's more comfortable making your plate of food and taking care of the kids, and you working a 9 to 5. There was a story I remember that was told by the woman who was in Do the Right Thing, Rosie Perez, when she was negotiating a contract with Spike Lee's agent or what have you to be in the film. Her brother came to negotiation with machetes to make sure that no one would touch her, Rosie Perez. So that's what it's like. She's going to be a little bit rough around the edges. And she's all going to be about family. So when you get in a relationship with her, expect that her family is going to be intricately involved. They want to know you. They're going to want you to come and eat with them and know the family. So be prepared for that. And if you're okay with all these things I said, you're going to have a great relationship. Now, also, these women do cheat. Don't think that you get her, she's going to be loyal and all into you. A lot of these Latinas know that they're in demand. And a lot of them can be very vain. So you're going to have to be careful in how you deal with them. I don't believe that, like women don't cheat. I don't think any woman is 100% faithful. So you always have to be on guard and careful. So if you are okay with a woman being a little rough around the edges, a bit argumentative to spice up the relationship, outspoken, but will have your back, will take care of you and the kids, and doesn't push for higher aspirations, then you're going to have a great relationship with her. Now, as I said before, not all women are created equal, so you'll find that the Puerto Rican girl from Brooklyn is a bit different. And the Puerto Rican girl from California is different. And we'll cover those in future videos. This is Austin with Alpha Zen. Until the next video, take care.